Okay, perception and what is the meaning of perception. So we will be covering some of the learning objective here. So at the end, that when you will be going to finish this topic with me, so you will be able to understand some of the important aspects. So the first one is the perception is a three-stage process that translates the raw stimuli into a meaningful. Like, take an example that you heard some noise, and the noise first will be selected by your brain, then after that it will be organized and interpreted. So three things: S, O, and I. S means selected, organized, O, and I is for interpretation or interpreted. Eventually what happened, the interpretation of a stimulus allows it to be assigned a meaningful. So this is known as the perception. And sensory system can provide a competitive advantage. So what is the meaning of this? So marketing stimuli have important sensory qualities, and we totally depends and rely on some colors or some odor, sound, taste, and feel of some product when evaluating them. Many stimuli uh, compete for our attention, and a majority are not noticed or accurately understandable or comprehended. People have different threshold for perception, different meaning for different thing. One thing, different meaning. A stimulus must be presented at a certain level of intensity before it can be detected by an individual's sensory receptors. We have receptor, and will be going to explain what are the receptors. So in addition, an consumer ability to detect whether two stimuli are different, right? Maybe a different threshold is important issue in many marketing contexts. Next, we have the next is exposure, which is also very important for the marketing communication. I will be just going to explain some of the factors that determine which stimuli get perceived, are the amount of exposure to the stimulus, and how much attention is generated, and how it is interpreted. And it is a increasingly crowded stimulus environment. Advertising cluster occur when too many marketing related messages compete for attentions. From the marketing, one message is coming from, and another message is also coming. One is saying like, we are going to give you 20% discount, other one is a 20% discount plus additional 10% discount if you become a member of our organization or a company. So this is what, this is the marketing communication, and in return you will receive some attention from your clients. And next I will be just going to explain that a variety of factors which can influence what customers or consumers will pay attention to. Now in this I will be covering, and what is the meaning of this, that marketers, we are the marketers, are tuned or experienced to new techniques like guerrilla marketing to attract attentions. Hmm? And it is also important to use all the five senses to appeal to the consumer. All five senses. Sometime that you enter in the store or the showroom, you heard some noise, maybe some music. The music change your mind. Hmm? The positive energy that comes in your mind. So this is also one of the strategies by the marketers. And stimuli also have to change over time. Otherwise, we become accustomed to it, right? And next, that we will discuss about, normally we know that we, the interpretation, I'm talking about the interpretation, we interpret the stimuli, we pay attention to according to the learned pattern and expectation. There is the proper learned patterns, accordingly that we pay attention. A stimuli that is attended to is not perceived in isolation, right? It is classified and organized according to the principle of perceptual behavior or organization, and these principles are guided by gesture or overall patterns. If we talk about the specific grouping principle, include closer, then some similarity of two products, hmm, and some figure or ground relationship between one product and another product. And the final step in the process of perception is interpretation, that we know, right? The first step, second, and the third, the last one is the interpretation. Symbols, there may be some symbols that definitely will help us to make sense of the world. By sense of the world mean understanding the world, how we are just going to receive that information, hmm? Understand it, organize it, and last one, interpret it. Word by providing us with an interpretation of a stimulus, the stimulus that we have, stimulus senses, that is often shared by other people. Receptor, that you can see from the left hand side, that I have put here some of the photographs of the basic receptors. So basic receptors that we have here, that eyes, right? Then we have ears, hmm, that we listen to all the things. The nose, the smell, hmm, and the mouth from eat, and even that we speak something, and the skin. So all these are the receptor. The marketer, that you are a marketer, right? You are going to make some very good marketing communications strategy in such a way that the client the client should use all these information at one time sometime, right? So that the receptors, that how much that you are going to provide information in which way, so that will be the duty and that will be the job of the marketer. Now let's say sensation. So sensation is the immediate response of our sensory receptors. So receptors are there, I touch it, it's of too hot, for example, then that is the sensation, right? Too hot, and there will be response to that. Hmm? And those to our eyes, response, ear, nose, mouth, skin, to such basic stimuli. These are basic stimuli, maybe as light, color, or sound. Okay, perception, that is the sensation, the sensations. Sometime that we go to doctor, we say, I have some sensation in my eyes. It means something is irritating you, maybe light, maybe dust, right? Something is irritating, and you say there is a sensation in my eyes, and it eye watering from my eyes, like most of the time, when I go to bed or when I go in the morning, maybe due to light, I don't understand why it is coming, right? There's some sensation in my nose. When I go under the sun, there's a sensation, and I start sneezing, there's a sensation. So sensation, that nose, from the nose it receives some gases, maybe some poisons, or maybe some dust, maybe just normal air may be a cold or a warm, right? So these are the what, these are the sensations. Sensation from the receptors, all these are the receptors. From the receptors that we have some sensation, right? And now the perception towards this, the process by which the sensation is selected, organized, and interpreted, that will become our perception towards that. They say, I go for a walk in the morning, and when I go at the beginning, right, if there is a sunny area, sunny day, then I receive some skin irritation. Hmm? It means that from the receptor of the skin, that you have some sensation, and that will become your perception. I'm just correlating and integrating all these three words in one sense with example. Now, if we talk about a sensation and a perception, right here, we see that the most marketer would agree that oftentimes perception can be more influential than sensation. So sensation is this, right? Sensation is that I received some information through my skin, that start irritating and itching in the morning. So that is what from the sensation that we got something. But what perception is there? Perception, if perception is so strong, oh, this may be only because of that I did not apply my ointment, just a cold cream, so that's why. my perception, right? I think this is some eczema or some big disease. Some people are so, like, so mentally weak, right? Oh, I may be having the problem, I will not come from tomorrow, right? That is the perception. So it means perception can be more powerful, influential in our mind as compared to the sensation in determining the consumer preferences, right? Like here, that one want to choose, the first that we are thinking that we're going to eat something, like, which may not be healthy, maybe too much sugar. hmm? we know that we know that. And other side, we compare with the green vegetables. It's very good for health. Now our perception, we at that time we decide what to do. But most of the people decide to go for the sweet first, so vegetable may be the second priority. But if you are strong enough that you say, oh no, right, my willpower is, it also depend upon the willpower. My willpower is, I'm not going to eat it. Even like my favorite dishes in front of me, I just throw in the garbage, right? And I'll just go for the vegetable because I'm on diet. Too much strong. hmm? Strong perception towards strong perception towards someone. Some doctor has, there may be number of factors. Maybe you may be having some disease, some doctor has recommended. Or maybe that you're going to get married, right? In a couple of days or a week, girls or a boys, that they're just going to reduce their weight and making their body fit, right? Physically fit. Maybe some competition. It all depends upon the different situations and scenarios. So sensation and perceptions, in this way it works. Sensory input means that there is the input and output things. The input, that is something is coming that impact the sensation, or on our product experience to stand out from the competition, right? So in this case, our senses react to touch, smell, taste, and other stimulation. And people reacted to color. Oh, so bright, I don't like. Hmm. Yeah, this color is sober. I like this color for my room. And but the same color, I don't want to wear a dress with the same color. And some noise and music. Sensory inputs create many association in terms of decisions. Decisions for buying something, maybe car. In the family of four people, one say, I like the black one, others say, I like the white one, right? People are same, right, from the same family, but their perception is the different towards the color. One say, this is in trend, so that's why we want. Yellow color is the trend. Others say, no, yellow color, yellow white, no, I don't like this one. I have never seen, or maybe few of the cars. Oh, that is a funky style, I don't want. Others say, no, that is really good. All depends upon the perceptions. Think about it. Memories and choice. Think about it, that would you buy a new sweater without touching it? If the sweaters are there, you go to some maybe ck showroom, you have some sweater, you have some t-shirts, a trouser or something, maybe blazer. You don't touch it and don't try it. hmm? And you are going to buy it. I think, what do you think? Like, I think there's no possibility. No, never. Even that the shoes are there, the size is perfect. 100% sure. 9.5 is my standard size. US 9.5, right? When I wear it, it will be okay, perfectly. Another shoes, same size, right? Color is change. Just changing the color, you always first try to wear it and just try to walk. This is the marketers. They observe each and every actions that the client is performing. So why and why not? So the why, it means that you feel, first of all, comfortable wearing, number one. Second, when you wear it, that what sense is means touching skin, it's suitable, like it's not, it should not be too much tight. Second, it should look good. You watch in the mirror number of times, and not only one two three things. Other thing is also there, you ask to your friend, right? Is it okay, this one is or okay, okay, or this one is okay, like this color or black or a white? That if that person is saying the white color is the good, then you think yes, the white is good. Even then you may not be satisfied. You ask to the sales representative, hey friend, so please could you just please tell me like which color is more in sale for this particular article? And then that person is just going to explain the black color is more. Now again the problem arises. Now some one information is going to overlap with another information, right? So now you will take decision later on what to do, whether to go for the white or a black, right? If you're going for the black, again something comes in your mind. Oh, it means the friend that who has come with me, what he will think. Not only one thing, number of things. That is the customer experience. Hmm? So sensory inputs that process that makes up reception include three components: exposure, attention, and interpretation. Okay, now the next we have some sensory system, which is also known as a sensory marketing, which harnessing the uh, perception for a competitive advantage. The impact of the sensation on our product experience to stand out from the competition. The first we can see here is the sight. This is on the left hand side. You can see that sensory stimuli, and this is the sight, sound, smell, taste, and texture, and that all it depends upon the receptors, right? These are the stimuli. These are the stimuli, and now we have some receptors. Receptors are our eyes, ear, nose, mouth, and skins. So based upon the sensory stimuli and sensory receptors, right, we just go for exposure. Hmm? Then exposures means that we're getting some knowledge, that something is coming in our mind based upon the sensory stimuli and the sensory receptors. Hmm? Then attention that comes in our mind, and we going to interpret it, interpretation that start. Hmm? And expectations from the whatever that you have perceived, that also comes in our mind. So this is how the sensory system works. Sensory marketing. This is a new era of marketing. Organizations pay extra attention to the impact of sensation on our product experiences. And area to consider that will include the sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste. Now, if we talk about the sight, marketer communicate meaning on the visual channel through a product's color, size, and style. Lots of advertisements are coming these days, and each advertisement that the marketers and the researchers that are making a lot of money, like spending a lot of money and making a lot of efforts, so that the client who will see at the first sight maybe the color and the product quality and the use of the product, they should be able to understand what it is all about, right? So how perception can be colored means the color directly influence the emotions, and color are rich in symbolic value and culture meaning as well. The color of choice of color is frequently a very important or key issue in the package design. If we talk about the color, some people say at the time when they go for the some funeral or the person die, they just normally they wear the white color right? But here that I have seen in Canada, they wear the the black coat with the black uh, cloth on the head and with the tie. So normally they just so this is what this is like the difference perceptions towards the different cultures, right? Not only one thing matters, a number of things matters a lot, and marketers need to consider each and every aspects in the marketing. So site, this is one of the example just for a tissue paper, right? Maybe you can say the toilet paper. Let's see what it is. So Renova, the first differentiated itself from the competitor by introducing the black colored toilet paper that conveyed an air of sophistication and exclusivity. Now the company has added a multiple color to its offering. The first impression was just the black color, the toilet paper, right? And just gradually they started changing that colors, modifications. The site. Normally we use the white color, right? So it's the black color, it's totally different. That something they want to attract to something, right? They will need to think, oh, this is the black color toilet paper, like it's very totally different, right? So this is one of the companies they have just introduced these things. See how the companies are thinking out of the box. Sight. So how perception can be colored. Some color combinations come to be associated so strongly with the corporation, and that they become known as the company's trade dress. In some companies, let's take an example of the flight. Hmm? The crews, that what they wear, there will be a standard dress for one kind of the group members, the one crew, different dress, another crew, different dress, that will be matching with the airplanes logo, airplanes, the color on the airplane, the white or blue maybe, right? Accordingly they will wear the dress, logo, brand. In this way what happened, by looking at the crew member you will be able to understand from the far away that this crew member belong to this kind of flight, right? So this is what the consumer understanding that we are learning today here, the perception towards the services as well with the product as well. Now look at this marketing applications of the color. If we talk about the color only, now if I say and ask like what kind of colors are uniquely associated with a particular company or a product, then we can say for the particular product maybe Apple, right? So Apple, in Apple mobile phone normally like they have one two three four kind of colors, so they have a multicolor. So maybe for their uh, the for the wristwatch, right? Maybe other products as well. Hmm? And one normally with the headphones they have the earphones, normally it's the white color, right? Not a black or red or a brown, right? So like so they have one color, that is the white one. Okay, so yellow color here is optimistic and youthful, and marketing application used to grab window shoppers attention, the yellow color. You might have seen that yellow and red colors for the advertisement purpose. The most of the time, the marketer use this one because that is the eye catching. Red color is energy, right? Red is energy. We have a blood in our body, right? So red. So that is also energy. If we don't have blood, right, we don't have energy. So red color depicts and represent, and it is associated with the energy, and often seen in uh, clearance sale clearance sale in the red color, red and white. Hmm? In the clearance, 75% discount in the red background, and it's the text is 75%, 80% in the white, which attract and they boost your energy. Oh, and just the wording, sensation, all things that work simultaneously. Blue color is the trust and security. Like we can see the college mouse pad is the blue color and the wall color is also a blue color, right? Normally that we see the here the text color is the blue, that which representing something, and the sky is also blue. So that is the trust and security, maybe in the banks. Hmm? uh, Green, wealth, and serenity, used to create a relaxation in store. Just greenery, whenever we see some greenery, we feel some peace of mind. When you go to garden and sit, and when you open your eyes, you see the greenery everywhere, you feel that I am so calm here, and my tension has gone. Hmm? And you feel so relaxed. Orange color is aggressive. Hmm? Orange, uh, some boosting system, like some orange juice is there, energy juice is there, call to action, right? Orange color by itself. Black color is a powerful and sleek luxury products. Black color, most of the time that you have seen the black Mercedes. Hmm? Right, so black laptops, right? So luxury items, no doubt other colors are also there, but black, sometimes Men in Black, the movies, right, is also there. So powerful and sleek. The purple color is the soothing color, soothing, right? A beauty or a anti-aging product. So different colors, different association, different marketing applications. Now, how your eyes are linked to colors. Color evokes such strong emotions reaction. Some people who are trying to break their smartphone addiction are turning their mobile screen to grayscale to make them less stimulating. This is as per the research. Color is a serious business, and many companies realize that their color choice can be exert a big influence on consumers assumption about what is inside the package. It all depends upon the color and the perception change. This is normally the psychology of the people, the study of the psychology. Smell, odor stir emotions or create calm feelings. Episodic memories of pie out of oven or a steaming cup of coffee, feeling of home. Limbic system, like brain, it's a limbic system is like the brain, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. They they process our fragrances. When when we have some very good fragrance, right, we use a perfume or a deodorant. Hmm? Most of the people use. Then when we have some smell, then some sensation, some satisfaction, some happiness, some pleasures, some secretions in our body that happens. Secretions in our body. If there is a strong smell, then that you feel irritated. If there is a like light one, that you like this smell, and you say yes, you feel very satisfied. You will try to sit at that place for a long period of time. If there is a full smell is coming out, you leave that place. The sensations that respond, this is the respond to the smell. So one study found that the smell of the fresh cinnamon buns induced sexual arousal in males. This is one of the study. And second, uh, scent marketing, like from the car to the fragrance. In the car, normally that we sit in the car and there is the fragrance. Why it is required that at the time of driving that we want to be so comfortable? When the foul smell is coming, that it will disturb your mind. Mm? When the good smell is there, you will be able to sit for the long period of time in your car and you can drive smoothly. Smell, right? So this is one of the experiment, and it is done, and the picture is taken from there. And at the backside that you can see there something is written got milk. So got milk smell is totally different, right? Compared to the cow milk. So here the got milk or something like the got milk is something here different, and that is a campaign harnessed the power of smell by releasing the scent of the chocolate chips cookie at bus shelters. So this is like the marketer do some experiments, hmm, by doing something different. Expert create fragrances by combining a number of individual scent from as many over 200 to 300 ingredients. Lots of ingredients, that is the combination of all these ingredients that produces some smells and make some fragrance or a perfume. Now next comes to the hearing, the sound, hmm, symbolism, the process by which the way a word sound influences our assumption about what it describes and its attribute, such as size. Individual sounds called phonemes and might be more or less preferred by the customers. Sound can relax or stimulate the customers and workers. I can give you one example of some corporate or some organization in which the people are working, and they just when they have some like sound system there, light sound, light music, hmm, and they feel so energetic. They feel calm and relaxed only because of the sensation of your ear, and it goes to your mind, and that sensation and the reflection and implementations of these reactions. Now, the sound of music, right, is becoming an issue with the consumer who increasingly find themselves on hold for telephone inquiries. The big problem that we are facing, let's say we call to the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, and there is a long period of time, the long waiting time. This is the issue, this is the problem, hmm, that the people complain that at the time we call we have to wait for long period of time, we got irritated and just hang up. So in this case perhaps the companies should consider a option to choosing your own music on the phone or in the waiting and silent. The one is the waiting and silent, other one is instead of the same typical sounding system during your wait period, or you can select your own sound on music. There may be some options. So this is the one of the recommendations, that you can choose your own music while that you are holding your phone. Touch, tactile stimulation is also very important sensory channel. For example, tactile stimulation is essentially a way of activating a muscle by lightly touching it, primarily to increase the mental awareness of that area. Touching affects the product experiences. Now here, whenever you go to some restaurant to eat something, and after then, if the waiters who touches the patrons to get bigger tip. So patron is what, that is the kind of machines touching that patrons, right? And touchscreen have other effect on our behavior, right? Even that we feel just very good just by touching and just clicking the how much percentage of the tip that you want. If that the waiters are coming approaching to you at your table at the end when you have finished your food, then you are just by touching and giving 10% or 5%, whatever that you like. But on the other side, when you go to the counter, you may not give any tip. There is a possibility. or you may give the less. So this is what the touch. This is one of the example and experience. The orientation of the product affect the way in which the consumer swipe on the screen, right? They will swipe in the direction of the product's orientation, and this lead to increasing liking. Now touch swiping on the mobile phone, for example, you have your mobile phone with you. The orientation of the product affect the way in which the consumer swipe on the screen, right? On the left, right, top, wherever that you swipe it, and this lead to increase your liking. Endowment effect. Endowment usually occur when consumer ascribe more value to something simply because they own it. Sometimes, unless we don't buy something, we don't feel any value. Once we buy something, then we feel this is my car, this is my product, now this is my mobile phone of this color. Then you feel more value as compared when you at the moment that you did not buy, right? You are not going to buy it and it remain other, that is not, you have no any possession and right to have that property or have that product with you. Once you got it, then you feel this is mine possession. Touching an item form a relationship with the product. Yes, by touching something, some item, then that form a relationship. Just a glass of cup, right? A glass, maybe glass of like maybe with the some handle or without handle, you feel different. Richness. Okay, now it's a haptic or touch senses appear to moderate the relationship between product experience and judgment confidence. Richness, quality, and durability are assessed by just touching. Just the fabric, you say, oh, this is so smooth, it's so soft, right? Then that your body, that when you touch with your body, that the sensation, the stimuli, right? You receive something, and on by receiving some sensation, hmm, and a stimuli, that you take some decision, and you say this is really good or bad, it suits you or not so. If it is just not smooth, you will say I'm not going to buy it. It will be going to harm my body. Can see engineering that have, this is one of the example, that the philosophy that translate the customer feeling into design element. Mazda, right? This is Mata stick shift. So this is the stick shift that we had a gear system, transmission system, right? So touching, they have something like design is totally different, right? So one that they touch it, they feel really good. So companies are making a product by considering the consumer perceptions. Once like we know that we have one product ready, but behind this one, lot of thing, lot of study will be done. Coca-Cola bottle, right? It's a sleek bottle. A design and the textures and the written materials. When you hold it, you feel it, right? So it's a totally different. Now, if you talk about the taste, flavor houses develop a new uh, concoctions for the human palate. So palates is inside your mouth, right? So culture changes determine the desirable taste. The wine enthusiasts taste hundreds of wines, right? And people form strong preferences for certain flavors. Now think about it. Have you How have your taste buds, right, changed since you were a child, right? When you were a child, then your taste that was a totally different from today. When at that time that you used to eat some different kind of chocolates, right? Or maybe some something that which you don't like today. Hmm? Do you eat food now? Do you eat food now, right? That you would not touch in the high school. So eating habits change, during the passage of time. Taste also change. Exposure. Now if you talk about exposure, that occur when the stimulus comes within the range of someone's sensory receptors. The consumer can focus on the stimulus or ignore the information. Cardiac goes from the 0 to 60 mph miles per hours in 5 seconds, as shown in an ad, right? That was just 5 second long. Yeah, so in just in a 5 second long ad that you have heard something. Exposure. So this is one of the company's example. Exposure to the campbells. This is the like some soup, different kind of soups are there, and have been gradually modifying its the label for the last 140 years. Sensory threshold. So this is psycho psychophysics science. This is the science, actually the science that focuses on how the physical environment is integrated with our personal and subjective world, like the watermelon plus taste. And this is that this is also a science of recognizing the behavior of the people, the physical environment of something, and the taste. Absolute threshold is the least one, the minimum amount of stimulation that can be detected on a sensory channel. So sensory channel, we know the touch, taste, from eye, sight, hearing. hmm? So all these are the sensory channel. From the sensory channel we detect something, that the minimum amount of the stimulation, there will be some stimulation by touching or something, the minimum amount when we touch something, like even the surface on the table, that stimulations, right? This is the stimulation that can be detected, that can be recognized with your mind on the sensory channel with the help of all the sensory channels. So differential threshold. And just a noticeable difference. Sometimes J and D is just a noticeable difference. Like you can see the two cans, and the two cans are just noticeable, very small, noticeable, very small difference. That the blue color is there, right? So great for that big circle is there, and also there is cooking, right? Big for this one cooking, right? Okay, so now differential threshold, ability of sensory system to detect changes. Ability that we have an ability. Sometimes we recognize. I just remember one thing, that in the newspaper that we used to recognize some of the faces. There was like in the comic or maybe in the newspaper, that is in the picture, in the big picture at the corner of some paper, then there are the two picture, then we need to identify what are the differences between these two animals, or what are the difference or similarities we need to write. So this is also one of that our sensory ability of the sensory of our mind, by looking from our eyes, right, to detect some changes has happened or not. The differences between the two stimuli, and a minimum differences between the two stimuli is just a noticeable difference, a very noticeable difference, right? Campbell is one of the company. It's a change label uh, dis- discreetly over time, so that consumer always recognize their product. Weber's law is saying that used for two reasons. This is the Weber law is for the two reasons. What is the reduction? Reduction means reducing. Reduction are not readily visible to the public. Sometimes there is something going down. Maybe quantity is less. Sometimes they may not be able to recognize, right? And product improvements are perceived by the public, But on the other side, if there is improvement in the product, then that can be recognized easily. This is the perception, right? Take an example of one thing. Have you noticed less chips in the bag and the amount of air in the bag? We cannot recognize it. When the bag is there, it's filled with air, and there may be very less chips, like tomato chips, very very less amount of that. So this is what is totally the based upon this. And why there is the fluffy one? The fluffy one is there, that is oh really big, but inside is a very small thing. Then you are paying a $2 or $3 for that particular package. And companies are producing and earning a lot of this. This is one of the strategy that company implement.